arrived at UNC Charlotte, I actually had a lot of mentors. Many of them came out of the Afro-American and African Studies Department, which is now called Africana Studies. The late Dr. Bertha Maxwell Roddy, Dr. Gregory Davis, Dr. Herman Thomas, and I could go down a list of others that were instrumental in my success at UNC Charlotte. But the AAA department, as we called it, Afro-American African Studies, it was like a village for us. We were a family and developed lifelong friendships. They were instrumental in my success as a student, as well as a professional once I graduated from the university. My career highlight was becoming a city manager. I had an opportunity to do that first in Henderson, North Carolina, and I decided to transition, and I'm now an assistant in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So getting into senior management, I feel strongly about empowering people to be their best. I always felt like I always have to know a little bit about a lot of things, but you surround yourself with people that know a lot of things, and you empower them to lead their people to do the little things that make our community successful.
Terrell is a team player, and the first thing he did when he came in was to establish relationships not only with the directors of the various city divisions, but also the people. He went out, he talks. And he developed a situation, I should say a culture, where people could come in and talk to him. That is a good leader because you have to listen.
I first met Terrell when he was a freshman student in my Introduction to Afro-American Studies course. What stood out is, Terrell's a talker, and he really communicates with folk, and he just has that personality that reaches out at you. And so he was one of those students I never forgot and continue to stay in contact with.
There's just so many positive things that happened to me in my life while at UNC Charlotte that that connection will always be there, and it's why I still continue to volunteer and give back today. The Blackmon Scholarship was something that Akina, my wife, and I came up with a few years ago. We wanted to figure out a way how we could give back financially to the communities that we grew up in. And what the scholarship allows us to do is to provide a financial opportunity from a student from either county that chooses UNC Charlotte for their undergraduate studies. It's recently been endowed, and we're really excited about seeing the first scholarship awarded sometime in the near future.
When I was involved in the creation of the Black Alumni chapter at UNC Charlotte around 2012, we formally organized it as an institutional organization. And I served as president for the first 2 years. And a lot of the stuff that we were experimenting with as an alumni chapter in those early years, Terrell took those things and turned them into institutional programs. And he was an outstanding leader.
It is appropriate that Terrell be chosen as a distinguished alumnus of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, because he is a wonderful example of what this institution can do for individuals. I wonder why it took you so long. Public service is a calling, and Terrell heard that calling and has dedicated his professional career to making the state of North Carolina a better place.
I will not be a bit surprised within the next 10 years if Terrell is not a candidate for state office in North Carolina. He has that personality that makes him an outstanding leader, and I think he will take that to bigger and greater things in the future.
For the university, as well as some of my peers, to recognize me as a distinguished alumnus, it means everything to me. I'm humbled, and I certainly am grateful for the University of North Carolina at Charlotte for recognizing me in such a way.